Hello friends, you know the deal, more Bazaar, more Vanessa. Have recorded a few runs before this, some of which I think I'll upload, some of which I don't think I will. But the long and the short of it is I'm really enjoying playing Vanessa on this patch, more so than Mac, even though Mac's new. I've played with Mac a bit. But I think Vanessa's in a really good place and is really fun to play. Could make a case for any of these, but I really like where early game Vanessa's at the moment.
You're a smart one.
Early game weapons Vanessa anyway. We're just waiting for the katana to go in the middle of these and we're cooking. You beat Fang unless Fang crits you, I think 3 times? In which case no, it has to be more than that. I think he has to crit you quite a lot as Vanessa. But if that happens, you just uninstall the game, basically. We're taking this fight because Fang is a decent weapon with what we've got cooking. Katana is best now that it's been unbonked, but the last run that I had was kind of a katana run. It was a hybrid between katana and Lang Zhon, and we managed to get them both working together, which you see relatively rarely in Vanessa. Usually it's better to hook in a crow's nest and just run one of them. So that was cool to see. Would love the Fang here. If not, we're going to need to find... We don't get the Fang. So we're going to need to find a weapon here. So that's a vendor we want to see. Preferably a fast weapon. No. It has to be rifle, doesn't it? Really wish rifle got unbonked as well. Because I think rifle at 2 is completely fine. As it is, it's... Fang with requirements and double the slots just doesn't make any sense. It's just a bad weapon. But this is a pretty cool early game Vanessa build, even though it's a bad weapon. Let's take spare change. Vanessa often struggles with econ, especially early on. Possibly.
Go ahead. Underestimate me. It makes this more fun.
We have a clear advantage over anyone that went econ, I would say. Don't really know what dually start are, but presumably we went with an enchanted start over here. Don't know how we match up against this. First aid seems like a pretty good card, but we're scaling and they're not, so I like how we're looking here. Yeah. Rifle not good enough to go into even the mid-early game? I don't know. Point is we want to get rid of rifle and we want to bring in a better weapon. Preferably katana.
If I don't have what you need, I'll help you find who.
Let's... We're in danger of running the exact same build I did last run. Let's grab a Lang Zhon and run it in AI fights. It's not very good, is it? Let's roll and hope for a katana, in which case we sell to buy. No. Weapon skill, maybe? Weapon skill, maybe? Semi-rifle getting greedy. Well, it's still a bit of an improvement. So we obviously can't run Lang Zhon and rifle, unfortunately, because this is what we'd want to do against the AI. I think we go up against a very easy AI and run this, which is awful. Do we lose to very easy AI? Quite possibly. Let's take a silver small and pray. We can run you with Lang Zhon, which means I think we beat our friend the coconut crab. Because I prefer to get the scaling on Lang Zhon, obviously. This should be fine. Obviously, Lang Zhon does not have synergy with bayonet and honing steel, which is kind of, or with right-handed for that matter, which all lend themselves to a quick weapon. But the only quick weapon we have at the moment requires that it is the only weapon on the board, or at least the only weapon with a cooldown. So we're in a bit of a weird spot here, where we want to be playing Lang Zhon for scaling, but kind of can't afford to be playing it until we pick up a better weapon. So this is what we almost have to run against the AI. Against humans, I mean, even though it's not very good. And we kind of can't afford... We'd sell to 4, which would allow us to buy a katana. So let's have a look.
Do you have any huge items?
No, that was probably a bit greedy. Seaweed only charges itself and is only bronze. Don't think it's even worth 2. Rough start, but you never know what it can turn into. We could try to transform the rifle, but it's so unlikely. So let's just take the free regen. This is our best build almost certainly, even though it still almost certainly loses against someone with a myriad of skills.
But I've seen my share of storms. My
Sip of coffee, my 4th coffee for the day, 3rd coffee for the day. Very strong early, Vanessa. We lose because of the restorative effect on the jellyfish here. The poison's just going to be too much, and that gives them too much survivability, even with our pretty nice scaling. We're locked into weapon, that's for sure. But other than that, the build has complete flexibility given that it's garbage. Having just said we're locked into weapon, not ideal vendors. Obviously Crow's Nest would be helpful. A bit of haste is fine, but it's not an item that we're taking into the mid game with us. I'm going to take it just because... The reason I'm taking it, which is a bit... a bit unlikely to happen, a bit unrealistic, is hoping that we can pivot into a flagship 1-weapon build. That's the sole reason I'm taking it. This is now probably a stronger build than the bayonet anyway. For me, we can play the rifle anyway. We can play the rifle, but it doesn't do us much good. Ah, look at what we got. It's katana and Lang John. What are the odds? I don't think it's working quite as well as last time. Somehow. Thank God we can get rid of that rifle. Please unbonk it. It desperately needs an unbonkening. Let's take a look at weapons just because we can sell out if we see exactly that. We can get rid of... We're not going to be pivoting into a flagship, I don't think, with this build now. I think we're somehow ended up running katana and Lang John again? Obviously not going as well as last time. What are the odds that this happens? It's such a rare build. Who knows? We could well end up pivoting into something else here. Obviously we want Shadowed Cloak over the Honing Steel for the katana. This one seems more likely to pivot into 1-weapon Lang John, given the skills we've got. Previous run we had a Shark Claws to support it, which we don't have this time. This trio of weapons to the right obviously works super well. Super well. And synergizes with our skill. Medium item is obviously good, but we don't have much money. So I think we'll just have a look and pray for a skill. I feel like it's higher chance of getting a skill that's useful as opposed to a medium item that's useful. And rear shielding we take just because there's a decent chance we end up running a shield item. Let's have a look here. That's a better weapon for sure. And I don't think I waste on the reroll. Decent day 3 build here. Up against a Mac with 2 wins is very bad. His Mac can be quite weak early game, especially to weapons, but some Mac builds are busted early game. And given that they got 2 wins early, this is a very strong early game Mac. Can we kill them before they go with Moose? 13 versus 10, we should be able to. No, yes, just got there. I think the crit... We crit with something there. I don't think we crit with Lang John, but that crit may have still saved us because we only just go over the line, but that was great. Upgrade a bronze item. Honing Steel is a good upgrade for sure, but I kind of like weapons. We have enough for a reroll. I kind of like skills, sorry, especially with enough for a reroll. Does not work out. They're awful. We'll just... What are we more likely to run something of? Don't really want to run either. could have made a case for just skipping there. And maybe got a bit greedy not upgrading honing still, but you live and learn. We'd love an extra fight for our Lang Zhong. Did not want an extra fight against Scoville. We lose this, but we maybe get 2 gold? Maybe 1 gold? Scoville just way too strong. That was pretty unlucky. I feel like there were relatively few enemies that can beat us here, but we've certainly run into one of them. Yeah, rough. Could really, you just need, I said it before, but you just need a bit of a break with Lang Zhong when you're running Lang Zhong early. You just need a way to get over that hump and it starts scaling really well. Now we won't be greedy and we'll upgrade honing still. Really good early game item honing still. And we'll go for Bloodreef Raider because if we get Crow's Nest, I think we pivot into a 1-weapon build. But yeah, honing still really good early game weapon and upgrades quite well. Is obviously outclassed by Shattered Cloak. But you can't always get Shattered Cloak. We're not all Northern Lion. I say as I try to get Crow's Nest. But I do not. Bit of econ. Let's just have a look at items. Silencer is obviously leaning us more and more towards... so we put you there because your damage indirectly is Katana's damage, which is good. Leading more and more into the Crow's Nest build. If we could just find the Crow's Nest, I suppose. Crit chance across the board is nice. Could definitely make a case for Treb. Definitely make a case for Treb, especially with the burn skill. I think it's just generally a pretty weak item, and I think it isn't better than any 3 of our items. Keep on thinking Hand Axe looks enchanted with the shiny version, but it is definitely not. Ah, rifle. Now I wish we had a burning item because that's really good. Early game grenade is really good. Submersible you can make a case for, but you really need to run it with Crow's Nest. You really need to run it with Crow's Nest. I think we put you over our friend the Pet Rock, forsaking the 10% crit. Musket, yeah, it's too optimistic to find a way to make Musket work, I think. Decent build. Decent, not amazing. Check that everything is right order. Up against a level 4 Vanessa with no wins. We're favoured, but let's see.
Go ahead, underestimate me.
Can't believe we're running Katana and Lang Zhong again. Oh no, we're up against a Cutlass Crow's Nest and they stole my Honing Steel original idea. That's a good win.
You should put it toward noble.
I think Grenade certainly helped us a lot there. Because they just didn't have enough sustain. So Lang Zhong is looking very good. Stunning Strike can be great. Steel Storm is really good early. Stunning Strike scales way better, is a much stronger skill in the late game. But, I mean, it's hard to explain. I think early game almost is late game in Bazaar because winning more in the early game means you don't have to do the late game. So I think with how strong Steel Storm is with our board and how much it improves us in the early game, I think it's worth it. Is there a way to get more weapons down? We could get rid of Honing Steel and play the Rock. I think that's probably worth it. Because you are diminishing in utility. Don't give us anything to Steel Storm and don't benefit from Steel Storm either. So I think this is the board now. Let's have a look. We can afford a 10 cost. Cannot afford a 20 cost as good as we would, as much as we would like you, and no point upgrading the shield. So that's a whiff. Let us work at the docks to earn some coins and take a weapon because we're unlikely to put anything else on the board. You're a cool weapon. Not for us though. And let us fight. Are you ever going to be for us? Almost certainly no. And let's fight Printing Duelist. So from what was an interesting start, we've ended up running pretty typical weapon spam Vanessa. Albeit with this Langjon kind of chilling by the side that isn't a usual inclusion in a build that aims for burst damage. Don't hate this combo though. It would be nice to play a slightly different build than last time. I swear it's just not deliberately ended up this way. But for the time being, it's very much what we've been forced into playing. Well, not forced, but steered towards playing. Cutlass can certainly make a case for Cutlass over... probably over Silencer, which isn't benefiting from Steel Storm, and probably over Bolus. You go relatively regularly, you scale well. I think that's probably right. So you put the Silencer in the bag. You sell either Bolus or Pet Rock, giving 10% crit chance is probably worth a bit more. So I think you sell there and buy there. Yeah, sure. Let's do this. And no. I think that was right. Not too interested in any of these. Let's have a look.
You've just taken the first step toward good taste.
And have a roll. Sure. Let's upgrade our friendly rock. Okay. Decent spot. Not an amazing spot, especially against a perfect level 6 Julie. Not an amazing spot, but not bad. Would like to find the crow's nest and potentially line up a pivot, especially with the Silencer in the bag. We put the Silencer in the bag, bro. It should be okay. Langjon, one time. Don't even need it. See, this is why Langjon just doesn't fit with this build well at all. But keeping it on the board, whilst it lessens our effectiveness compared to other weapons, it gives us more potential avenue to scale into the late game. So I think we keep it out here. I think we limit the longevity of this build by putting out 2 smaller weapons. Would have really liked a fight that we could win there. That's a good weapon with the build we're running, but I don't think it makes it on the board. Gumballs could definitely make a case for gumballs here, even though it's very early. I think we benefit so much from red and blue gumballs. Like I said, red and blue gumballs. That in this case it's worth it. Maybe. Oh god, no. That was a complete waste of money. That was terrible. I think we beat Mosquito and Foreman. Let's take Foreman. Maybe could have gone Mosquito for the CDR. In fact, should have gone Mosquito for the CDR. But anyway. Take the 1 extra gold. That was some awful gumballs. There were some god-awful gumballs. So... Shark Claws would be a good item for this build, actually. Should be keeping an eye out for the buffed Shark Claws. You are interesting. We would put you, instead of Cutlass, you'd scale every time Katana goes off. In fact, we'd probably need to keep Cutlass as well. You'd be too greedy to run with Langjon, so it would really be instead of Langjon. And we put you in between Cutlass and Katana, you'd scale quite a lot. I just think you serve the same purpose as Langjon, and you do it worse with less potential to be useful in the late game. So, you're gone. That was a chance to change up the run. What a shop! Oh, baby! Massive improvement to the run there. It was too much hope for more. Not pivoting into Sniper. I tried that in a previous video that I may or may not upload and it didn't go well. Oh, Dooley. Dooley, 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 Dooley. You tempt me, Julie. Dooley, you tempt me. Don't think rocket launch is good enough in our build. Kinetic cannon is insanely strong. This is a really strong item. We'd have to rework the build, and I just don't feel like doing that. That's all there is to it. We'd have to rework the board because Katana can't charge it because it's medium. We'd have to get rid of everything. I'm sure there was a way of making that work, especially with a revolver in the bag. But it's not for me, brother. Up against another Vanessa.
We're out to dethrone a king, not to squabble with nobody.
I'm not even going to guess what's going on with their username. They're doing me! Not in that way. They're running my build, but better? Yeah. Yeah, my build, but better. They got a tiny bit of haste on Lang Zhong, the world's smallest bit of haste. Where did you get that haste from? You. If you don't put that haste onto Lang Zhong, they go off at the same time, right? Oh no, you got a bit of CDR. So no matter what, your Lang Zhong is going... Oh, it's funny how it shows it getting upgraded there, because we both have gold. Your Lang Zhong is going off a little bit earlier, which means you win. Fair enough, my friend. Silver or lower... Nah. Could maybe make a case for silencer, because it looks increasingly like we're going to pivot into one weapon, because this isn't working. But let's take a look at skills, because it can benefit us now and if we make that pivot. Or it can benefit us not at all, which is what's happened. Awful skills. Awful skills. That's a big whiff there, because pretty much every build improves there with the upgrade. Yeah, sure. I can't be bothered keeping on rolling, and you make a minor buff to Katana. Incredibly minor. I have regrets. This is how we get back in the game, baby. I think we beat Burninator boards. Burn is scary this patch. Weak point detector got buffed as well. I think we're fine. I think. It has so much more health than us. Would have loved a crit. We're fine. I feel like we're not doing that badly. The lack of Shattered Cloak really hurts. Yuck. Fine, our skill pool is so diluted anyway. We'll take on the off chance of winning. Definitely don't beat Radiant Corsair. Can probably beat Ghost Pepper, but can't afford the loss, so let's take the Viper. What do you do? Nothing. I don't think there's a single item we want here. But we get scaling on our gold Lang Zhong. Maybe we upload a winning Katana and Lang Zhong build, and then a losing Katana and Lang Zhong build, and we can pass it off as an educational endeavor, because you can see the difference between good and bad. I think we get rid of Cutlass because it's not doing anything for us, and we run this weird hybrid where everything is benefiting from Steel Storm and going pew pew pew. So we really want fast going weapons plus a random Lang Zhong. Yeah, sure. Hasten charge, weapon skills, yes please. Strength is what we want. Noisy Cricket is just better, with the condition of 4 per weapon player. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 4, so it's 32 bonus damage. But it only works while we're playing this spam weapon build. Strength benefits in that we can drop down to 1 weapon build and it still gives us a benefit. Noisy Cricket is probably just a worse Steel Storm. I think we take Steel Storm because we need to win. We need to win now, as well as winning late now, which is a very difficult thing to do in the Bazaar. Doing one is usually quite doable. Doing both is very hard. Medium and large, sure. Gold Lang Zhong. I do love... You're gone. I do love me a boulder pivot, but this is not the build for it. Cannonade is... This is the build for it. This is absolutely the build for it, even though it makes Steel Storm worse. You're gone, you're gone, you're gone. You're in. You're over here. I think this is right. We want cannonade to the right. Is this better? It has to be, doesn't it? It has such anti-synergy with Langzhon. Maybe we just put in the bag. I think this is better. Because Steel Storm encourages wide weapon build, obviously. Cannonade also encourages wide weapon. I think it's probably Cannonade or Langzhon, not both. I think both is too greedy. In which case, I think we keep Cannonade in the bag for the time being. Not the Muffinator. Anyone but the Muffinator.
I may be young for a captain, but I've seen my share of storms.
I will leave you alone.
Try not to linger on every decision for 2 minutes. We definitely need to kill this guy quick or not at all. Looks like not at all. No, we take it just. Langzhon wasn't going to get to go again. Yeah, I think we probably lose that with Cannonade. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I think it's Cannonade or Langzhon, like I was saying. And Langzhon is currently just keeping us in, especially if we can win. Oh no. No! No! We lose to Dragon. Ah, that was so unlucky. I think there's very few enemies that we lose to there, and we really could have used the extra scaling on Langzhon. We do lose, right? There's so much regen, and their fire stacks exponentially. Crit one time! No? Did we need the crit? Maybe not. I was way off in my complaining there. So having just complained, give me your best item?
It's over already. We barely got our flags up.
No, that's not your best item. But that was still a fantastic result. Let's take loot, because CDR would be nice, and Sharpening Stone is fine. We're pretty much committed to wide build. Could make a case for putting you on Cannonade, but while we're committed to wide build, let's put you on Katana. Which is our fastest going weapon. Items, sure and sure. Even though it's looking increasingly unlikely that we put Silencer on the board. This scaling with weapon damage is obviously great. Submersible is a really good item, but not with what we're cooking. Incendiary is decent with Immolating Spark, but nah. So we've gone full weapon spam. We have the post in the bag. We can beat Bouncertron. You would be fun. Cybersecurity, we could make a case for getting that on the board. Hits very hard. Although our build is more about hitting early than hitting hard. Or hitting fast rather than hitting hard. Although Langzhon is also scaling. We have no survivability whatsoever. It's the dual katana Cannonade dream. I have run that exact same build once before against all odds. Oh, it's given us something to think about. How frustrating. What if we get rid of you and run double katana instead of 4, 5. I think we run instead of grenade and run it like this. This seems good to me. We lose a little bit from Steel Storm because you're both weapons. You also benefit from Steel Storm. You're effectively like another katana almost because you go off just as much and benefit. So we probably want to keep Bayonet, in which case maybe we don't play the second katana. 3 and 4, so this is still faster. 2 every 7 seconds. Oh no, it's... No, 2 every 4... No, 3.5? Yeah, I think Katana's... This is still faster than Katana. Pet Rock crit chance is really useful. Ah! Could make a case for getting Cannonade and Katana on the board. I don't know. I don't know, brother. Let's do something. Do anything! Great. Give me a man. No, give me something that helps me decide what to do. None of these. At the moment, our run absolutely has an expiration date. And it's before 10 wins, I can tell you that. This build does not get to 10 wins. You're a cool item. You're a cool item. Spend all your money re-rolling for nothing. For some crypto. That's sad. But it is the best item. Well, that went terribly. Okay. Ah, crit chance. If only we had the crow's nest. This would be so much better with crow's nest. I really don't know what to do here. You can make a case for so many things, but in the interest of not deliberating on it for too long, let's commit to the wide weapon plus Lang Zhong build we got going here and put crit on Lang Zhong. So with that decision, we are getting rid of Cannonade. I think you hang on to the rest of it. And we should be beating this Vanessa. It's very good that we got to level 10. There's always a risk when you run up against enemies that just got to level 10 because there's a risk there. Enchantment just got them online even when they weren't looking good before. Joke's on you, friend. We don't use any non-weapon items. We don't use a single non-weapon item. I got bad news, brother. I got very bad news. Oh, thank goodness. That would have been so embarrassing. And it nearly happened. This guy hits very hard, even with our disruption. And even with the fact that we didn't use a single non-weapon for their skill. So we're only just getting to... I guess this is the issue, is that having a great Lang Zhong is all very well and good, but we don't have any survival. That's what made our previous Lang Zhong plus Katana build so good, is that we had survival by virtue of shield on the Katana. Sure. Let's upgrade you. I think that's on average significantly better than taking the Sharpening Stone. Let's look for... I was going to say look for Figurehead. Yeah, Figurehead is still probably worth it. None of those are worth it. None of those are worth it.
Really? I thought for sure you'd like these.
The arrogance. Crypto, I haven't been keeping an eye on the price. Just like IRL. You're scary. You scare me. You have Crow's Nest, which would make me think about rebuilding my build, which I don't want to do. So we'll go up against the Roaming Isle. Tropical Island would obviously be great. Lang Zhong with 76% crit chance is really nice. Previous time we ran this build, we were able to get crit chance organically without the enchant, which was nice. But Katana's a great enchant recipient as well. Sure, we're never going to get to use it, but our skill pool is absolutely decroded, so we'll take it. You're great, but you're too late. Interesting, because enemies will very often have more health than us in the first half of the fight. Stunning Strike is just too good disruption. It's just a really strong late game skill. It doesn't feel exciting because it doesn't feel like it improves your own board. So you don't get to see numbers go up. But it's a really good item. Crypto, it's maxed. You're gone. Gumballs betrayed me last time, so we'll go for... Oh, you're going to make me rethink things. Figurehead... You could really make a case for Figurehead instead of Lang Zhong, as ridiculous as that sounds. You can also make a case for Figurehead over Revolver and probably Fang. Or Revolver and Grenade. So you'd be dropping off 16 damage to gain 25. It's just not worth it. You need to be... We'll take you to have in the bag, but you need to be gold and then we can talk. You need to be gold, then you can talk. Then we can talk. Pig, level 11. I feel like we've navigated this correctly. There was an inflection point where we put the enchant on Lang Zhong for sure. But I feel like we've mostly made the right call. Maybe Cannonade was better. Cannonade certainly seems very strong at the moment, and I've got it to 10 wins before. Obviously that's an anecdotal fallacy, I believe, based on that game. Lang Zhong crit. One time. Oh, I think we 100% lose without the crit. But we're at 76% chance, so I would have been salty if not for it. We're scraping by. We're scraping by, brother. Just. Has to be skills. What are you? Interesting. Certainly interesting. You obviously help massively with early burst damage. Help massively. The problem is we highly value deadly. We highly value crit chance on Lang Zhong, and in fact used our enchant on it. So we're better off not getting you. Shatter will get us 1 buff of 10 damage to each weapon, which is not terrible. And given that we're a bit short of gold, we'll take that. I hate hero merchants. We'll take spare change, which we just had enough room. I don't think Katana's ever coming out on the board. The play was Katana plus Cannonade, most likely. Silencer we're just keeping for no apparent reason, no discernible reason. You are very scary, so we'll go up against the Trash Titan. Juggler is such a cool skill. It would be hard to get it. It would be not ideal to get it when you're unable to take advantage of it. Maybe the Katana Lang Zhong combo is just too good. I say that, I don't think we're going to get to 10 again with this run. This run is not as good as the last run. Lang Zhong is getting there though. But we have no real support for it. You want support in the form of survivability and I guess Crow's Nest for mostly for the crit chance. Although you have crit chance. I guess the lifesteal is also good. But you really want CDR. Yeah, you very rarely will fight, or relatively rarely will fights get to the 10-second round. And especially 10-second point, especially as the rounds go on. So it really doesn't have great synergy with the rest of the build. I guess we get survivability in the form of increased health. Which is not the best. Oh no, the Maxter. Oh no, the perfect Maxter. Or nearly perfect. Looks like they lost the first round and then have win streaked the rest. They have 100 gold in the bank. This is going to be too good. I don't know what you do. I know it's bad for me. There's no way we win this. You see a Mac with that level of success and you just pray for a swift death. Which we got. Not quite unlethal though, which is nice. But that was a rough bit of matchmaking. Let's have a look at what you're cooking with. No. No. How do we improve? Skill upgrades? No! It's so bad. Upgrade an item. Yeah, I think we just upgrade... It's greedy to upgrade Lang Zhong, because it's not going off. Very often it's not going off. But are there any gold skills we really want? I guess strength. I'm sure there's skills that help us. Yeah, I think we upgrade Lang Zhong and we pray for a slow human fight. And then we get an enchant on Katana and we pray for survivability. So we pray for health or shield basically. And then we win by surviving to 10 seconds and having a highly scaled, very crit, high probability Lang Zhong go off. And it's cool. It feels satisfying for that to happen. And we pray we don't go up against Mac, or Dooley, or Vanessa, or Pig. Save me? No! The Pig. No. Let's try to cheese our way. Burn, no. Poison, no. Diamond, yes. Sure. We don't shield. You're cool. We don't haste at all. We don't haste at all. No wonder we're terrible. This is the difference that not having Shadow Cloak makes. I think we take Berserker just because builds that we struggle with will often have more health than me. And even if we only reduce cooldown for... I think it only matters when the item starts ticking down what its cooldown is. So even if we just reduce the first tick, which we do because we have 10 less health, that's hilarious. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, we reduce the first tick of our items and then it goes back to normal. That alone is probably worth it. Crit one time? No. I think we needed that crit. We lose because we didn't crit. 76% chance. Bound to happen, I guess. Losing that even with the temporary shield, temporary buff really hurts. But we're going to enchant our katana with haste. Sure. Sure? Would far rather shield or heal, but would take haste over anything else. So I think it's still worth taking. Why did you drop? Oh, we lost the buff. This might be a 7 winner. Not super interested in aquatic, so we'll just take more health. Even though there's, yeah, obviously taking health kind of bad for Berserker because we really wanted to go off once. But ultimately, I think the benefit outweighs that relatively minor detriment. Too late for any of these. I should have upgraded the revolver. It didn't go all shiny. I think we fight Harrow for the skill or Lure of the Waste for the XP. Just go safe with the XP. Yeah, should have upgraded the revolver, but it's so minor. Whatever. Pendulum can save the run for sure because we stick it between Katana and Langzhon, and then we don't need all this other garbage. And then we guarantee haste going on Langzhon. One time? No.
Now this is how you win the war.
Loot. I think I'm not long for this world, my friends. Where's my loot? Didn't I take loot? I got this. Anyway, whatever. I'm sure it's fine. I'm probably
I would spar with you.
just thinking
His leg.
wrongly. Wouldn't be the first time. You're tempting. Because you would gain a lot of damage and therefore a lot of poison. I think you're more useful than a lot of what we're rocking here.
Teaches stillness. I prefer action.
4 seconds, 5 seconds, yeah. You're gone. 75 poison? Seems pretty good. Maybe there's a world where that helps. Save my run.
Yataria? The dunes? Where should we
No.
start?
I'm spending all my money because I'm pretty sure I'm dead soon. Oh, it's the cannonade choice again. We're too far into Langzhon, and I don't think it works with Langzhon, so no. Not 100% sure what I'm looking for, which is a bad position to be in because it usually means the run has maxed out, which I feel like it probably has. Sure, we'll take
That.
gold to get us maybe kind of back to what we started that stupid event with. Please don't be good. Oh, you're pretty good. Oh, you're one level lower than me. But late game Mac is terrifying. Not as terrifying as late game Pig.
You should know. I'm a
7 wins might be where we land with this run, which I could make my peace with. Super weird we've ended up with the same run. Ah, you have less health than me, how dare you? But that probably, what are you? Well, that's extremely annoying. We can't survive that. Not that it even matters. What the hell? What on earth? What a busted item. That's the first time I've come up against one that's that strong. 7 wins it is.
last daughter.
It's fine.
House Cozy.
It's fine. It's a shame we ended up running the same build as before, but can never complain about 7 wins. Thanks for watching if I decide to upload these 2 fairly similar runs, and I'll see you next time.